Hi, and welcome to my little review of Cedrat Boise by Houseman Sarah. I'm going to keep this sort of brief-ish. For the keen-eyed among you, you notice I've got 3 bottles here, and there is a reason for that. Well, obviously, I own 3 for starters. But Cedrat Boise, I think it came out back in 2011, 2012, and it's a scent I never came across, and I'm a massive Aventus fan. It was one of my bottles here, 2016. This one is, and but after joining a community about 2-3 years ago, obviously the questions used to come up a lot about alternatives or dupes or whatever, and I did do a video on that. If you're bored and you've got half an hour to spare, I talk about all the batch variations and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's only about a year ago someone mentioned to me about Cedrat Boise, and he said, "Have you ever heard of it?" I said, "No." He said, "By Houseman Sarah." I'd never heard of them. And he said, "You give it a try." So I did. I bought myself a bottle, went on eBay, and I picked myself a bottle up, and that was the original one, which was here. Now this is a newer formulation, because then I learned that there are different formulations. You've got reformulated. Everything gets reformulated. I don't know why. It's price, whatever, just to annoy the fuck out of me, probably. But yeah, so it got reformulated, and being the sort of bloke I am, once I realised that there was a pre-formulation that was stronger, I thought, wow, I'm going to go and find it. And find it I did. And that's this one here, which is a 2018. Now, obviously, in the meantime, they also brought out the intense version. Now, before the 2018 turned up, I bought Cedrat Boise Intense. So I just thought maybe do a very quick video on what the difference between the 3 is. So that was the original one I bought. It was a 2022, I think, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Forget these 2. Never touched these 2 before. Got that one, and absolutely stunning. It's let's do a quick note breakdown or comparison to Aventus. It's almost like Aventus. If Aventus was a fizzy drink, it was I don't know, some sort of pineapple, bergamonty, lemony, spritzy soft soda, right? It's that. That's the same, but with a blob of ice cream in it. It basically rounds the top off. It's just it's creamier. It's got a little bit of a cream, little bit of it sort of curves the edges a little bit. While this is spritzing, this is sort of like sort of smooth, and it's beautiful, and it goes its own way. It doesn't try to be Aventus. Obviously, the woody dries, even the woody dries down. That woody dry down is far different to that woody dry down. But they're both a sweet woody dry down, and it goes its own way. It doesn't try to copy it. I can understand why people would say, "Ooh, they're close." They're close in the same sense that a Ferrari is a car, and so is a I don't know, a Nissan Micra, but they're cars. And these are both, that's probably a crap analogy, but they're both freshies, although this freshie you would say it's gone a slightly different way, and it's softened that edge off, whereas that's just stayed not edgy, but it stayed fresher. That stays fresher. This goes to a lovely sort of a different place, a sort of rounded off, creamier way. So yeah, that's the difference between the 2. Both great scents, obviously. Both great scents. But yeah, so let's go to the differences between these 3 now. So this is the version you would buy today. Although the version you buy today, if you bought from a discounter, it would have a magnetic cap, which is the same as the intense version. This, even though this is a 22, it's still got the screw cap. Now you can buy 22 versions of this that have got the magnetic one. Now the Mancera just moving over bit by bit to the new. Obviously, they must have probably a lot of these screw cap bottles left, so they're just filtering them out. But yeah, so this one's great. If you were to buy this one today, you'd absolutely love it. You can get it for about 80 quid, I think, discounters, and it's a real stunner. I would definitely buy that over a lot of the stuff that's out there today, fresh off the shelf. It's a great summer or spring, autumn scent. Or any time when you want. You shouldn't have to feel like you can't wear something because it's a particular sort of time of year. But yeah, you would love it. The difference between the new formulation and old formulation are strength. It's definitely stronger. I could go on about it. There's no point, because that is the bottom line. It's stronger. It's straight off the bat when you smell them both. It's just got more of a punch. It does last longer on my skin. I will get 8 hours out of that one. I will get 10 to 12 out of that one. That will project for 2 to 4, 2 to 3. Projection. This will project way over 4 to 5. So it's significant. Excuse me. It's significantly stronger. And the reason apparently they did it is because they were bringing out this bad boy. So they thought, well, and let's just talk about this quickly. So the intense version, this does not reinvent the wheel. It does not add something else like Elixir, Sauvage Elixir. That took it a different way, didn't it? If you go to Blue Chanel, they're different. The EDT, EDP, the parfum, they kind of go different ways. This does not reinvent the wheel because it doesn't need to. It's already, in my opinion, it's a 10 out of 10. It's everything that I would want in a fresh, sort of vibrant, standout, sort of standout scent. It's awesome. But what they've done here is they've kept that, and let's be honest, they've probably just added more oil. They've just added more of the oil mixture to it. So rather than, I don't know, maybe if it's 10%, they've gone to 15 because it's beast. 2 of these will do you. People say the Sauvage Elixir. I'm not in any way comparing them, but that's like a beast performer. That's like a beast performer. So is this. 2 sprays of this, bang. That's it. You're good to go. And it's 12 hours. 2 sprays is 12 hours. So you're definitely getting your money's worth there. So between these two, I have said about batch variations before. In my other video, that there's no point in chasing old batches because old batches are going to die out. They're not making them anymore because they're old batches. So don't worry about it. It's a pointless hunt. But I would say with these, with Cedrat Boise, because the new batches only started from about 2021, I believe. And that's why, because they weakened it down, because obviously they had the intense version coming out, if that's to be believed. If that's the reason why they did do it. Sometimes, a lot of the time it's because they materials that they would have used in, and certain chemicals they would use in the older batches, they're no longer allowed to use anymore. That's certainly one of the main problems that plagued Aventus. And probably many others, so maybe they had to reformulate because of that. But whatever they've done, it's definitely not as strong. But don't worry about that. If all you can do is find the newer batches, then just buy it because it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It will last you 8 hours. It will project. The presentation is wonderful. You get, it's a real class little bottle, and it's 120 ml for 80 quid. I mean, that is not bad going, is it? What's that? About 80 pence a. Oh, I can't even work it out. But anyway, whatever it is, it's cheap. Cheap as chips. And the intense version, you cannot find that on discounters yet. It's I think I paid about 100. I think I paid about 130 for it, 135. So if your choice is between that and that, if that was 80, that's 35. So it's 55 quid more. It just depends how much you're going to. It just depends. Depends. Don't know. You make your own mind up on that. I mean, you can't go wrong either way. If you always want the best version of, go for that, and it will last you longer than that. So you will get your money's worth in that essence, in that sense. So yeah, I would say that's the way to go. Anyway, my name's Chris, and I will be back with another review. Like I said, I'm in no way even pretending to be any sort of professional. I haven't got any more knowledge than any of you guys out there. But it's just if I have got versions of a fragrance, I'll do a little review of them just so you know what the average bloke in the street thinks. Anyway, so yeah, thanks very much for watching, and see you next time.